Welcome to the Brook, bearing clusters of truth with a splash of common sense.
It is a good day to be in the Canaan Media studio. I am Will, once again here on The Brook on Canaan Radio, the live broadcast, Saturday evening, 5 p.m. Central Time. You can join us on YouTube, youtube.com/Canaan Radio.
What happened to the music? Drop off. Okay, but that probably was only, though, in the studio, right?
No. That's okay. What was that all about? Just didn't happen right. I don't know. Brother David, it's good to be in the studio. How are you?
I'm doing good. How
Pastor?
are you doing? Okay.
Doing great.
Brother Peter.
I'm here too.
And Brother JT up in the booth. We love hearing from our listeners during the show.
I thought that was JT for
I was like,
during
what
the
is
show,
going on?
we want to hear from you. You can text us 920-940-8275, or you can send us a direct message on Instagram or on Twitter using the handle at Canaan_radio.
You on a hotspot? You're not. He's not on a hotspot.
Hey.
I have to be not on a hotspot.
Oh, that's true.
Because I'm casting to
Not
the
fair.
TV.
It's not fair.
Anyway, you can join us. You can send us a song request on YouTube if you join us on youtube.com/Canaan Radio, or use the app listen.canaanradio.com, and you can request a song. If we have the song and as time allows, we'll play it. Again, the number 920-940-8275. And with that, it is time for Fire Away. Segment dedicated to rapid fire of whatever we feel like talking about. Brother David, kick us off.
Have we come off of our sugar high from last week? Was that a sugar high or a caffeine high?
Man, I had so much fun last week.
Last week was fun. Why is
I
I
had even more fun watching everybody explode.
I fixed it for you, Dan.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Your quality was set at 240.
You know, it's not about quantity, it's about quality.
Mm-hmm. We're a bit discombobulated today.
Not really. We're all
I feel like everybody got here late except for moi. Moi.
It's going to be a great show.
Why are you using French words?
Is that French?
Yes.
Oui, oui.
Oh. So where'd you guys...
That's too dark now. What's with that?
What's with what?
Oh no, Will has disappeared. He's not on his camera anymore.
We have a chair opening. We'll take applications.
Please submit with your application of $500.
I
Yeah,
think
and with your $500.
I love talking to the ladies of the church about Twitter things. They get so riled up. It's awesome. I think we ought to do another program.
With all ladies.
Yeah.
What would we call that?
We'll call
The
it
desert? Instead of the brook?
Wow. Wow.
The desert.
That's a good thing. Never mind.
Do I need to move?
No, I just...
It's like I'm like half a face.
Okay. Maybe...
Do you want the whole face?
I'll adjust it. And how about there? How about that?
Still hasn't moved.
Will's not here yet. We're waiting for him to get here,
There
both
it
physically
is.
and mentally.
Is that better?
There it is. Yeah.
Mentally?
That's it.
Mentally.
Oh, I just turned the light on.
Ah, dessert. Maybe dessert.
What we're talking about?
No,
Oh,
fire
the
away.
dessert.
Right.
She said maybe dessert.
You should start fire away off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Fire away. Ooh, it was hot this week.
Yes, it was. That's a good one.
What is it? Oh, well, we hopefully fixed in a more permanent than rather temporary way one of our daycare's air conditioning issues. Yeah, that was fun. We had Damien come in. He was breaking up concrete. He tore the place up. Because of that, we have to send him home. But
Actually did some physical work.
he did, actually.
Living out the
It's always
Bronx.
amazing when you see a teenager work.
I was like, he almost broke a sweat. He wasn't huffing and puffing, though, so I got.
Honestly, I've never seen a teenager eat so much food in my life.
This guy.
He's a eater.
Mm-hmm. You should have
First
seen him.
day I was with him, we went to Subway, He was like all about Subway. Got a foot long. And he ate it faster than I ate my 6-inch. And I was like, man, I'm getting old.
Yeah. First thing I noticed, we went to the, was that last Saturday? Did we go to the Chinese? The first Saturday here.
Saturday.
And he grabbed a whole plate of sushi. And he was digging. Did you have chopsticks?
Yes.
Digging in. And how many plates did you have? Like 3, 4 plates? At that point, I just sat there and said, this is going to be a long couple of weeks. I am not going to have a fridge left.
Do you have a fridge?
And actually, the freezer is now, I can actually see the back of the freezer now.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you have in there?
I don't know, but he ate it. and Damien made me breakfast this morning.
Did you eat it?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I didn't eat all of it, but he didn't eat all of his either, so he made a lot. Wow. So, and I'm still alive, I think.
That's got to be a
no
lot.
No symptoms
if we're
yet.
Talking about him.
I haven't noticed any weird things happening.
And
so
you fall over dead during the commercial break.
Yeah.
So it's okay. But it's good. We haven't been talking about randomly anything. So
Where's Will at? What are you doing?
I'm trying to take care of some things. It took me a little bit. I was a little bit
far
long,
away.
A little bit long at lunch today. So
yeah, but this week we were not at the camp this week.
Yes, you were.
I know, but I'm saying I wasn't like we weren't out there to work really. I did replace a light bulb out there. I put the light bulb in the chapel steeple.
What?
Yeah, it came in, so I put it in.
It's already been in.
Another one came in, and I put that one in.
What'd you do with the other one?
Or the
back one?
Behind the steeple?
Mm-hmm.
Not on the front side? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know for sure if that was back there. You got it on the roof then?
Yep.
Super duper.
Got it plugged in. I don't know if it's working because I forgot to go back out there.
Check it at night.
Yeah,
You can
plugged
switch
her
the
in.
timer and turn the thing on, You just have to reset it.
I didn't want him to touch anything. Just
All right.
plug it in. Call it good.
That's fine. I'm sure it works.
Yes.
I
Should
went.
be fine.
I took Mrs. Reeves this week on the bike and to get ice cream, and we stopped at the big build outside the mall that they're building a big. I don't even know what you would call that thing. It's apartments on top and
What are they calling it?
177.
It's 177. It's our
177.
District.
No, it's the North Platte's exit number.
Yeah.
That's why it's there.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yes, but that's why
Cool
they chose
and weird.
So it was open, so we just walked through it, looked at the apartments upstairs that they got going. I don't think I would want to live there, but some yuppie, woke person probably will love it.
Here's my question: are we getting a Panda Express?
That is the question.
Here's my question: can we get rid of the crappy building in front of that building?
The Nebraska Land Days.
Yeah.
Do you mean
Or no, Nebraska
Goodyear.
Land. Goodyear.
Yeah.
I think they're
It's just
supposed to
the
renovate
type.
that.
I don't know. It's off-centered from the building.
It doesn't
if they're
make
not
any
gonna tear
sense.
it down. They need to do something with it.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make any sense to leave that when you're building this huge brand new building that is inches.
It was close.
If it's not touching, it's inches away from it.
It's supposed to be done November.
That whole thing?
That's
In November.
what I was told.
That's ambitious.
Are they putting siding? Did I see
They
them
are
putting
It's already up on
siding?
that one side, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bricks,
Black and
siding,
white? What were the colors?
white siding, and then it has black.
Gray and white,
Gray and white.
isn't it? It's gray on the middle on the
Well,
interior.
if you say it is.
It seemed dark or something or the other.
It was, yeah. I always saw it
what
from
I
far
saw
away and then I forgot.
was like a blackish gray, okay, brick on the bottom.
Oh,
It's a white siding, and then they have corrugated steel, black corrugated steel.
Nice.
So that's what I saw. But I could be wrong, I was just there, walking there, touching it.
what's
looking
the
at it.
underside anyway? Is that all supposed to be stores and
That's
shops?
all stores.
Oh, okay.
But the
'Cause
backside,
parking-
okay, the inside is all garages
Okay.
for the apartments. But the elevators, there's no way to
Wait.
there's no way to get to the elevators without going out of the garage, out the door, and up back into the front door. It's not even connected in the hallway that they have there. It doesn't make any sense to me, but maybe I'm missing something, which is possible.
They're going to tear out a wall.
Yeah. Did we say hi to everybody? I mean,
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
We've
Our
not been
list?
paying attention.
We haven't.
to
Okay.
We haven't. Who's
I
on
finished
here?
putting together what I
Mrs.
needed
Smith
to
said
do,
they
so-
are tearing it down and rebuilding it. So they must be,
The Goodyear place? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yes.
Brother McMurtry's on. Mrs. Smith. David Reeves. Look at that.
Brother Jeff said he had panda for lunch. That's
Brother
just not right.
Jeff. Joe
That
Crawford.
poor panda.
Mrs. Reeves.
What did he ever do?
8 dumplings.
I could
Christy
take some
Smith.
panda.
You could
Let's
eat
go.
a panda?
Tammy
It's only
Bennett.
an hour and 20 minutes away.
Courtney Walker's on.
We'll leave
Hi,
Damien here.
Courtney.
It took you a while.
Ron Oster is on. Christy Smith. I already said Christy Smith. Tammy Bennett. We're gonna address a tweet that I deleted this week.
Oh, yes.
The great
Wait,
tweet.
so
It's known as the great
You put
tweet.
it out and then took it back, right? Or you
Yeah.
were going to put it out, but then
We're gonna address all of that,
later.
and yeah,
Okay.
it's good. So if you're listening, I guess I should say hi, trolls. And
say that. Hi,
glad that you're listening, and the uptick in watching has been epic. And thanks for recording us. It's kind of nice. Other people are recording it and watching it. Mm-hmm.
Can't they just get it on YouTube?
No, because we don't upload them directly
Right.
after, because we have to edit the songs out.
So they steal it, cut it up, and put it out there.
Make us famous.
They're doing a good job. You
are.
dogged them on them last
I
week.
told, was that last week? I said put
says,
more
"You
clips
got
out,
one
and they
job."
listened
They
to
did.
me.
I mean,
they picked up the pace.
They did.
Thank you,
Okay,
guys. I appreciate you.
It's the only way that
love
our
offering?
content
You're
gets
going to
back
send them
on
a
the
love
internet.
offering? There you go. Very nice.
A shout out to our best fans. Great. Our most adoring.
Emotional, damn it.
Why do you sound like he's Mexican? Guys, I think he's Asian.
He's not Mexican?
He's Asian.
No, he's Asian.
Oh, okay.
Chinese, I believe.
I don't know how to do that.
Emotional.
Emotional damage.
That.
Well, those guys are tuned in and listening, recording.
Well,
Sure is good to have them.
Oh, Christy's
us.
even got the troll emoji going on there.
Troll
we need a
emoji.
troll
Trolling.
segment.
We
Next
do.
season,
Trollers.
troll segment. We need to have a
Call in.
segment
That's
great.
where they can actually just only listen to that one segment and get everything they need. So they don't have to listen. It's very inconvenient for them to have to
Yeah.
record the
We
entire
We need to make it
thing.
as
Oh,
convenient
my
as
word,
possible.
Yeah, we got to make it convenient for them.
How would you do that?
Yeah, how would you do that?
We would just take a single 10 minutes and just like say everything.
But it doesn't matter. Everything we say, just
That's true.
Just what we said
It's-
already
you're
is
right.
going to be put
It's
on
right.
like we're evil monsters.
There is zero waste of time for them.
They
to watch
said
us.
they said hello to their church members.
How dare they
Oh, they're abusers.
post this? Exactly.
Cult. They can't. I think we should change the name of the show.
Two.
The podcast that's not a podcast show.
What?
The
broadcast
that's not
podcast.
The broadcast that's not a podcast.
show.
It can be found in podcast form.
Can be found in podcast form. No,
It's
that is
funny how such trivial stuff makes them so bananas. I just laugh. It's so funny.
Great.
Hey, you know what?
So great.
If they want to waste their lives on the trivial,
Yeah.
that's their choice.
My Twitter handle.
I own them. Literally. This is going to all be on there. I know it is.
Prove him wrong.
No,
I know it
see,
is.
we win either way then.
Exactly.
Because if they don't put it on, boom, we have intimidated
But if
you.
they do-
That's 'cause
and
we
if you
own
do
them.
put it on, we still intimidated you.
It's a win.
Now that clip right there, we'll go on and say, they intimidated us.
Yeah, probably.
They really enjoy though taking out. They'll like take the clip, but they'll take off the best parts.
Yeah.
Right? You know.
Yeah.
Like wasn't
Do
there
you
one
notice
they
the
left
whole
off the
thing?
loser?
Okay,
part?
not just that.
Yeah, that was
But check
the best
this out.
part.
The most important part of the whole broadcast on work, they haven't even touched it.
It's like a foreign language to them. They
Yeah,
don't understand
because
anything we're talking about.
That's anti-keyboard.
What is that foreign language he's speaking?
He said work.
He said a 4-letter word. We cannot repeat it.
Work.
Word. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Anyways.
I guess it's just wrong to sit around and criticize people. So.
That's right. You know what?
Which is
not behind
totally
their back,
amazing.
'cause they're watching.
Totally, I had a evangelist pastor. I'm not sure what he is. Contact me and told me how wrong it was to actually do that. And I'm sitting there going,
It used to be.
yeah, I'm sitting there going, and so what are you doing right now? You're doing exactly what you're saying is wrong, but it's okay because it's me.
Well, it's probably just okay because he's not a pastor.
Oh,
Well, I don't know what he is.
It's like those people.
Well, maybe that's what.
Well, he
I
just
don't know.
added
He
them.
added them.
But I don't think you can on YouTube. Can
I think you can, but I don't.
But
think
here,
that's
it's like
their
those
thing.
people that like post. Really, I've seen this on Twitter.
Tommy.
That's funny. That's funny.
Tommy's just trying to make me as bad as he is. That's so funny.
Is that their? What is their YouTube?
So they I put that clip out, just joking around with Brother Beaumont about testimonies. I put that clip out from
Yeah, I saw
the
that.
camp sermon,
Yeah.
which was hilarious.
Yeah.
And Tommy's like, "Yeah, I was there. He killed 3 church members."
Yeah. He's threatening everybody with a sword.
I said, "Great." One time that group of social media nuts will believe something Tommy says is said about me. So that's all right.
That is funny.
I thought it was funny because somebody, I don't know, I didn't really follow it, but somebody put a picture out of all these new IFB preachers, and in the middle, the biggest picture was a picture of his wife, Brother McMurtry's wife. They were like trying to slam on her. I was like, you guys are idiots.
Wow. Someone in their research development team.
I think it was a
screwed up on
meme.
that
I think it was a meme.
Oh.
But Brother Tommy's
You know
not.
what's great
Brother
about the
Tommy's
memes?
not a new IFB guy. So
Yeah.
What's great about
they're
that?
idiots.
I just was thinking to myself, like, these guys, I don't know who all these trolls are, but they're all probably, most of them aren't in their 20s, right? They're like 30s, 40s, somewhere in that range. Point is, I can just see all these, like, grown men, like, making memes on their phone.
I make memes of myself.
Mm,
Isn't that how it's supposed to work?
What?
Just the thought of them dedicating that much time.
It's just like, yeah.
Imitation.
It's not childish
It's the
at all.
sincerest form of flattery.
Definitely not.
I mean, you've definitely been spending a lot of time making memes about bad sermons and
People I've never met, yeah. It's what I do for my fun
You
spare time.
have? I've never seen him.
that's part of your job, right?
I delete them. I have done that one time in the middle of the night.
You deleted it.
I tweeted like 4 times.
Okay, wait a
It was
minute.
in the middle of COVID.
How could you?
And
How could you be an assistant pastor and do anything in the middle of the night?
I was an assistant pastor.
Oh, okay.
And I tweeted like 4 things that were like, "Brr," and then I just did it just to feel good, and I
here's
immediately
the thing:
deleted them. But
if you were as famous as I was,
they would have got them maybe.
they would have got him instantly. Because I promise you, they either have some kind of a bot that notifies them.
They
somehow-
probably have
You
it.
can-
You
I don't
can
know.
set it to where
You
if
can
you
set it to
tweet,
where if-
they get notified.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but I got them blocked.
They can have fake accounts and stuff.
Wow, that's.
I don't know
epic.
if you can do it without
Okay, so
without following.
everybody
something.
criticizes
I think
because
you
our
can.
church has a lot of accounts, right? But these yardbirds can't even be man enough to put their own name on their account. Because the truth is, I'll probably find them.
Yeah, we're calling them. Now everybody in the comments are calling them out
Call them out.
because they won't comment. That's funny.
They're cowards.
They're watching
We're
too,
their
so that's what's great. Not to give them any extra attention.
How did this turn?
I don't know.
but
We
I
devoted
love-
too
I
much
love-
time
Yeah,
to
it
this.
is too much.
I thought we were saving this for the last.
We are.
No. That the
That's
tweet
just
I
the-
deleted is at the
Oh.
end. It's what,
Okay.
so safe space is canceled. It's now
You've been canceled.
non-safe space.
Very unsafe.
Very
Unstable.
unsafe space.
Yeah.
So,
However we
amen.
want.
All right, let's move on. We're gonna go to the next song. Don't forget, you can request a song at any time. Call by texting us. Don't call us. We won't answer. 920-940-8275. You can direct message us on Twitter or on Instagram using the handle at Canaan_radio. And if you join us on YouTube, you can send us a song request in the chat or bash people.
Wow.
Up next, I'm feeling.
There's
fine.
no names.
The
No
Mar-
names not mentioned on here. We're not bashing.
The Marion Avenue Boys. Welcome to Mean Tweets, a place where we dump them. We dump all those mean tweets that we've been storing up in our queue for far too long. Gives ourselves a chance to give the tweets some context. Brother David, you are first. And now that I know that, I can make sure to change that.
Any restaurant that sells watery, syrupless pop deserves to be shut down and bombed.
Probably shouldn't put that on Twitter.
It's mean, okay? Hey, and my Twitter handle is David Paul.
JT, is it on there now?
It was.
Is it now?
Send this over to the Middle East.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
I had the wrong one in there. I just didn't have Dad. I didn't have.
Point is, there's all of those restaurants, like, they can never get the pop right.
You can switch back.
Like, it's always watered down, like the syrup mixture isn't right or something. Burger King's one of them. Every time I've ever gone to Burger King,
Burger King.
it's watery pop.
They adjust the syrup down so that they can save money.
I don't know what it is, but I know McDonald's got the best Coke on the planet.
Well,
They
wait,
increased
okay.
the syrup.
I think in Mexico,
they
they're
increased
pretty
the
good putting it in the bottles.
No, I'm talking about restaurant,
Fountain.
though.
Yeah, like Fountain.
Like Fountain,
Okay,
yeah.
so top, because Coke is like legit. Okay, after I got married, Kaylee, because her favorite was Coke, I started drinking Coke.
Is that why?
Yeah, I was drinking.
You weren't doing it before?
Don't you see the
Nope,
ring
I
in
didn't
his
do it
nose?
before. Yeah, that's right. That is a signifier that everything else, because I drink Coke,
That's right.
rings
You're a-
in my nose.
You're a wimp.
So here's the thing. We would get Coke at the different restaurants we go to.
I think that's a nice picture.
No one can see that.
Yeah, that's okay.
can't even see the rain. Actually,
So
yes, you can.
we've tried Coke. It's that little teeny. It's
That white spot right there in the finger.
Can't see it because
Speaking of being tiny, it's like the second time that she's had to have it resized smaller because her finger's so tiny.
yes,
That's funny.
yeah,
Can I go back to the Coke?
yeah.
thing?
Sorry, go ahead.
The best place in town with the best Coke, bar none, San Pedro's.
Really?
San Pedro's has the
Are
best
you
Coke.
sure?
Number 2 is McDonald's. But here's the thing, McDonald's, no, I'm telling you.
They changed the mixture.
Sometimes at McDonald's, they get it like
Okay,
in the
that might
front
be true,
area,
but I'm
it's
not.
good.
I'm talking about on a consistent basis. Like they.
San Pedro's every time, every single time.
The other thing that I really like is the ice that's like pebble ice, like it's the
Yeah.
the
Like,
little
like-
Raising Cane's. has
no,
it.
Raising
Sonic
Cane's
Ice,
has it.
like Sonic.
Sonic has
Yeah.
it.
I have
the
a
hospital
question.
had it.
Can we address something since we're here?
What?
We're here. Anyway.
Could you explain to our listening audience why we are perpetrating a fraud with the blue check mark?
Hey, you know
we
what?
checkmarked ourselves.
That's right.
We're liars.
verified.
We're liars.
We are personally verified.
Well,
Personally
first of all, that account doesn't even exist. There is no
Yeah.
at Dave. Well, there probably is somewhere.
Isn't that
At
yours?
David P.
What's
No,
yours?
it's David Paul Reeves.
Come on.
Oh, I got
Get
it wrong.
right.
I was
I
rushing.
need the followers.
So-
Remember
Tell-
when you're sitting
tell
there going
everybody-
like this to me?
Hey, tell everybody what you're doing there.
What am I doing?
That you make these up. That you put these together.
Yeah, so the
most
visual-
of
the
most
visual.
of okay, but what you need to understand is that looks like a real tweet, right? Like
Yeah.
I verified.
Yeah,
Let me finish. Let me
go
finish.
ahead, sir.
It looks real, right? I want to tell everybody that regularly visits Bad Sermons. Most of the things that they're putting out that I say, all they do is make
Yeah,
these,
you can just
and
do
they just change and put my words.
Why don't they send us ones to put?
They should send us mean
We
tweets.
call it troll
Okay,
tweets.
guys.
Troll tweets.
FYI at CanonRadio.com. Send them our way.
Send them. FYI at CanonRadio.com.
That's awesome.
Wait, is it?
Yeah,
it's com. Yep.
FYI at CanonRadio.com. We'll take them troll tweets. Can't promise we'll put them up.
No
but
profanity, please.
true.
For them,
But yeah,
that
this is
crowd, I've
just-
got to ask them.
This
that.
is someone built a little tool that's so you can
That's
you
cool.
can template a tweet and you just upload the profile picture. You put in the name.
You can actually put how many
great-
people
you can
liked
make
it.
your own
What's-
tweets.
Well, here's what's great. I could put that his tweet has been retweeted
Like
50,000 times.
Yeah.
You know, as many times as I want.
And you could put that out.
Yeah.
So basically, every tweet that Bad Sermons does could be fake, completely fake.
And I could say they deleted it.
Yeah, and then turn around. Yeah, they just deleted it.
Hey, we're going backwards here.
I
guys.
pretty much think that's what they did.
That's probably what they do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Next. You ready for the
all
next
right,
fucking
all
liars.
right. It's Pastor's turn. JT, I do have it queued up. You just gotta switch it. Pastor.
Traveling the country to build your personal following ain't evangelism. It's proselytizing. These guys,
Get him now.
Get him.
Okay, so the reason I have to say that is because this is not the first time I've heard this. It's happened many times by the same individual that's done it to me, but they've actually approached other pastors and told them not to support or to support the ministry of a certain individual. And basically, no real reason. They just don't like them. And then they either bribe them to be on their side with, I'll give you an honorary doctorate, or they give them the cold shoulder and tell other people, if you go out there to Reeves, I'm not going to support you anymore. And I'm like, okay, what an evangelist.
We really are famous if people say that.
It's amazing.
It's like a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Wait, evangelists support other people?
No, these evangelists are out there and they preach and they forget their guest in preachers' pulpits.
Yes.
And they become the new pastor of the church, or they come in as the Pope of independent fundamentalism.
What?
Yeah, they're the Pope,
No.
and so they deem everything, And of course, you're the pastor. Let them in, so you can't really get up and correct them. You're held hostage. Yeah, let me ask you how long that would last here. So,
Pardon my humor.
yeah. So on that note, I'd like to recommend to you a very good ministry called Known Ministries,
Yeah.
run by Zach Campbell. Great young man, doing a great work. David, you've ministered with him in Kentucky.
We saw one in Kentucky on a couple college campuses, and every time we went out, we're blessed with the opportunity to win someone to the Lord.
Amen.
And get some of their. We actually had a couple different meetings, one of which we sat down with 3 college students, gave the gospel to them, and they got saved. And then we got their information to the local church there, and they were interested in Sunday school. So, opportunities were presented.
I spent time with Zach Campbell. We've gone to some history places, and that's a sharp young man. Just sharp young man, loves the Lord. He hasn't compromised. He's still single as far as I know. I don't even know if he has a girlfriend, but he's not compromised. And I think pastors, if you get a chance to have them in, you should have them in.
It's good.
And don't listen to evangelists that say don't have them in. Because those evangelists wouldn't know how to pastor their way out of a wet paper bag with a hole in it with a sign pointing the way out.
Don't forget the neon sign.
Oh, boy.
I won't say his name
Don't give us
because I'm not naming his name.
Well, it's not about individuals. It's about
He's not a recovering fundy, so I'm not gonna say his name.
yeah.
But that's probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard about evangelists. Seen evangelists do. Look, you're there to help the church, not build your name. You go saying stupid things like that. You're just proselytizing. You're just trying to get people to be your follower. Me, I try to get people to stop following me.
block button.
block-
Not just block buttons.
It's worn out, buddy.
But I don't care who you are.
That's right.
I don't care if you're the king of fundamentalism. If you're an idiot and you cross the line, I'm going to preach against it.
So offensive.
I am.
You'd almost think this segment was mean tweets or something.
Mean tweets.
The love of God
Semi-kind tweets.
is greater.
It's good. It's good.
That's my tweet.
It's good.
Awesome.
Traveling the country to build your
I'm gonna have to-
personal following ain't evangelism.
I'm going to have to make sure that I contribute next week. I think it's been 3 weeks since I've put a mean tweet out. I'm getting a hankering. My queue is filling up.
Yeah, I've done 2 weeks in a row
You
now.
have.
I've had a mean tweet.
You have. Pete and I will do next week. All right, it's on the record.
You guys are next
Pete
week.
and I, well, and probably Pastor too, because he could probably do them all by
I
himself.
have a whole list of them, man. You want another one?
No, right now? No. We'll save that for next week. All right. Don't forget, sometime in the future, you'll be able to find last week's episode available
In podcast form.
as a podcast.
Eventually.
It's a broadcast.
Well, see, the nice thing about these trolls
Not a
is that
podcast.
they automatically put out all this stuff. We don't have to worry about it for a while.
That's true.
So
That is true.
think
They're doing
about
our work
this.
for us, really.
So they want to.
Thank you.
I'm trying to figure out why you're laughing.
I just think it's so funny because I know they're listening, and it's driving them absolutely crazy. Every time you say it, it drives them crazy because we have it ordered the way it is. That's the fact of the matter. But it just hair lifts.
What's really great is if you don't agree with us, they're still taking all of their time out of their apparently busy days.
You
to
know what I
listen to
think?
us.
So busy.
Hugely
I think
very busy.
whoever runs Bad Sermons has missed it. That we have actually took over Bad Sermons, and it really should be renamed to Bad Broadcasts.
Oh, bad podcasts.
No, it's a broadcast.
Oh,
But
I just came up with a
You
Twitter
literally
idea.
go
Let me
to
see if
go to
anybody
their
has that.
account, go to their account, and see how many. They just 38 minutes ago tweeted a segment of our
guys,
show.
we're up to 24 people.
Yeah,
Whoa, we're famous.
There's so many people.
We're gonna get the gold
Oh my
YouTube
goodness.
plaque.
you would think we ran 200 or 300 a show.
Yeah, they love us. That's all we know. They don't have a life, so
Our listeners are going up, baby.
they don't have a life, so they have to
Wait,
intrude.
don't you
on
get
us.
paid eventually after you get so many listeners?
That's what I was saying.
It's-
You.
I don't
and
think
then
it's for.
you
You can't really.
It's all about the money.
subscribers.
Come on,
Yeah,
baby.
you can't really
It's about
monetize live streams. I don't think. I mean, you probably can, but I just.
You're supposed to, because most of it
Monetizing
comes from
videos.
advertisements, doesn't it?
We have
Most
to
of the
find
money you
someone
get-
who would think we're respectable enough to pay for an ad.
Rats. Somebody has bad.
No, I don't think that'd be. a
Someone
good
has it
idea.
already.
Someone has bad podcasts.
Hope. Bad podcast in podcast form.
Well, we could always get sponsored.
Bad broadcast.
Bad broadcast in
Bad
podcast form.
Podcast form.
Regardless, last week's episode will be available at some point
in the near future.
in the version of a audio and video podcast on our website and on YouTube and any place that those can be found. Don't forget you can request a song during the show by texting us 920-940-8275, or you can send us a song request on Twitter using the handle at Canaan_radio. And with that, we're going to play the next song, Sinner Saved by Grace, Calvary Quartet. We'll be right back.
There is no denying that music takes a huge role in our day-to-day lives. It is almost impossible to go a single day without hearing some sort of music. Whether walking through a store, watching an ad on your phone, or just listening to that one specific song that we all enjoy having on repeat. If you stop and think about it, music is interwoven with our lives. Music is also extremely powerful. It has the ability to move our emotions and thoughts with specific notes and rhythms. Listening to music can energize our bodies, alleviate pain, relax our minds. It has significant effects on our behaviors, feelings, and thoughts. Listening to music can even affect our physical well-being. According to a Johns Hopkins study, listening to music can reduce anxiety, blood pressure, and pain, as well as improve sleep quality, mood, mental alertness, and memory. Listening to music that was often played during a significant life event will leave a permanent print in your mind. It can trigger a deeply nostalgic emotional experience. Music can be extremely personal because it is indelibly tied to who you are. But these facts about music are not accidents. As God is the creator of all things, there is no exception when it comes to music. Although sometimes uncomfortable, it would be wise for Christians to desire to know God's heart on such an important and influential topic. God created music for a specific purpose. When we do not learn what these purposes are, according to the Bible, we are moored by nothing except our own desires and preferences. In other words, our flesh is in control. However, there are clear principles in the Bible concerning music. It would be impossible to cover all of these principles in today's broadcast, and so we will just focus on just a few. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 16, God says, all things were created by him and for him. Before Satan took music and twisted it to fit his wicked desires, God designed music for the ultimate purpose of praising and magnifying him. Revelations 4:11 says, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. Music was not created for me to enjoy. It's for God, and it belongs to God. Isaiah 55:12 says, The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. From the very first sin of mankind, we wanted to be like God. Music becomes tainted and sinful when we shift its purpose to pleasing ourselves instead of God. In most references in the Bible regarding music, it is speaking of praising the Lord, such as, sing unto the Lord, come before his presence with singing, let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation, and more. God gave us music to worship him with. However, God doesn't just want any kind of music. It is our job to look at music and the Bible and make sure we offer music that he actually takes pleasure in. Too often, I believe, we like to offer up music to the Lord with worldly styles, lyrics, and sounds under the guise of worshiping God. But this type of music isn't what God created. In fact, he despises this knockoff brand. So what kind of music does God want? Musicians will tell you that music is made up of 3 parts: melody, harmony, and rhythm. These 3 parts are what make up your favorite song. God created everything with order. Music is no exception. Just as in life, when we move God's order around to our own order, we get into trouble. And one of the prominent key verses that is used to describe to describe music, there's an emphasis placed by God on the most important part of music, melody. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 10, speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. Melody carries the main tune and the message of every song. It's the main voice that should stand out from everything else. Then we can move on to harmony, which includes parts like alto, tenor, and bass. Harmony appeals to our mind. Scientists have discovered that musical harmony triggers a consistent firing pattern in certain auditory neurons of our brain. Harmony has been proven to bring mental clarity and comfort. However, harmony must be subject to the melody. An example of harmony is found in Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 16, where the phrase fitly joined together comes from the same word from which we get the word harmony. Harmony is the most complex aspect of music that appeals to the mind of man. It is the alto, tenor, or bass. These are the parts that appeal to our soul or our mental processes. It adds interest and variety. But since it is not necessarily necessary to impart the spiritual content, it must be subject to the melody. Thirdly, there's rhythm. Rhythm is the beat that appeals to the body. The body is full of rhythm. Your heart beats in rhythm. You walk in rhythm, and so on. Music would be chaotic and completely unorganized if it was void of rhythm. It is that which gives order to music, if it is controlled through the appropriate time signatures, measures, and beats per measure. While rhythm can get out of hand, even in church services, while singing very sacred words, and destroy a song's ability to honor God, it is also a necessary element to keep music advancing in an orderly and meaningful way. However, rhythm should not dominate. As we read in Ephesians chapter 5 and 19, the Bible implies that melody should be what's most prevalent in our music. Another way to describe rhythm is like the pulse of your body. Too much pulse, or an erratic one, reveals your heart to be sick. No pulse reveals your heart to be lifeless, rendering the body dead. But a balanced pulse shows the heart and body to be well. The same goes for music. Too much, erratic, or unnatural rhythm, and the music is sick. No rhythm, and the music is dead. Balanced rhythm, and the music is well. The melody feeds the spirit, the harmony feeds the mind, and the rhythm feeds the body. The world's music, and even contemporary Southern gospel Christian music, tends to be unbalanced. The rhythm is so pronounced, loud, and driving that often the actual tune of the music, the true music of the song, can't even be heard or recognized. We ought to make sure that our music doesn't feed the flesh and appeal to the body foremost, and then secondary, feed the mind and spirit. Although we could spend more time and detail on what godly music is, we can filter all our music choices through just these few truths. May I encourage all of us who are listening to think about this topic and remember 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 31 that says, "Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God."
Excellent. This is, what was the title of this?
We called it Bars.
Why?
We called it bars because in this day and age, with the transition of the English language through mainly social media, it likes to be used a lot to describe music or the lyrics of music. Because if you break down music into fundamental elements, we measure music in time. And usually a bar of time would be a measure of music. And what they do is they call it bars. Bars is, like a verse of a song. But now they'd be like, throw down some bars, man. Or, we want to hear some bars. So the reason we call it bars is because, we're trying to keep up with that lingo, right?
Are we woke?
We're trying to.
Are we woke?
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Well, usually when we title these things in past seasons, we've tried to title them in a way that is
Controversial?
yeah, sometimes makes people want to. It's called clickbait.
It's interesting because I thought it was very well said. Wisdom beyond your years.
It's good.
But I will say this: people who want to listen to garbage music and say they're Christian, they don't like what you just said. They just have their flesh.
That's what it's about. Yeah.
To me, it's
Pleasing
almost
themselves.
almost like a
Self-pleasure.
a demonic possession. Of
Self-pleasure.
It's no
Yeah.
different than the enticement that mankind had at the beginning. And what did Satan say? Oh, you'll be like
Yeah,
God.
God
Right.
said.
You'll be like God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And instead of giving the glory and the praise to God, what is our tendency in life? We want to take that praise and that, and we want it to bring it to us. And the same goes for our music. The reason that the music is so off track these days is because it's really about what makes me feel good. It's about what I like. It's about what drives me emotionally. That's not what music is for. Music is for God.
It's not hard to see if you're to look at whether it be a worldly concert or a quote-unquote church that utilizes that same sound. If you look at the result that it brings, it's identical. The loss of control of your body.
Do you think that when you see our church kids, our pastors' kids going away from the Lord, that music's behind that?
100%,
Oh yeah,
100%.
completely. Music
And
is so powerful.
Here's what's crazy. They acknowledge it. The world
The
will
world
acknowledge it. They'll
acknowledges
say,
it,
yeah, 100%. It's like,
Why won't the folks that leave acknowledge it? Why won't they say, "Yeah, I was listening to
Because
music
then-
that my
because
parents
then
would
they're
never
wrong.
want me to listen to"?
because then they're
Yeah,
wrong.
because most of the time.
Well,
if you
they're
leave
already
from-
living a life that says they're wrong.
Yeah, but do you want
It's
to
like, what-
justify?
are you?
it?
Who
you
are
want
you?
to justify?
Who are you kidding? I mean,
themselves.
dude, your actions
they're
say
just
everything.
deceiving their own self.
Yeah, but music
Trying
is
to
a
say
huge
that the
part of it.
reason
There's some good scripture
leaving
coming
has
out.
nothing to do with it.
What's funny is I never see any scripture to back up what they're saying.
Nope.
So it's not to be antagonistic, but
No,
it's
I
to
think
say-
Christy's
it's
right. Christy just said, so they don't want to admit their authority was right. They don't like authority.
right.
So that's why most of the trolls that are listening right now, and the number keeps going up, they're now collecting together to
Guys,
listen to our
Let's
authoritative.
gang up on him. Let's gang up on him, guys.
Cyberbullying.
This is this is
I'm going to cyber jail.
hey, this is season 3. We're not going anywhere.
You're a little late to the party. You've been here for a while.
How much? Okay, this is
Here's the
I'm gonna
thing. Here's
say,
the crazy-
We've been here for longer than 3 seasons.
Here's the we're having so much fun.
This is great.
Living the way we live.
Yeah.
It's like everybody thinks that I'm making you do this.
They don't think that. They know better. You use.
So
that.
you're having a good time?
Oh yeah.
You having a good time?
Oh, Dad, stop. I'm glad I do everything you tell me to because now I'm wise beyond my years.
Wow.
I'm just here for the Red Bull. Well, mine's yellow today, but yeah.
I really
Misery
enjoyed-
loves company.
I enjoyed the analytical part of that because I feel like some people get really dismissive when you approach the topic of music. But then when you try to dive into maybe a little bit more technical, okay, so let's bring it down to specifics. It's not about philosophy. It's not about, let's bring it down to what's the Bible say about the specifics of music. And very clearly, melody, then harmony, then rhythm. Why does music like classical and like movie themes, why do they appeal to us? It's not even the rhythm, although that's present. It's not even the melody. Do you know what it is? It's the harmony. Because the harmony is what's creating the mood and the feel.
Changes how you think. You moves your
Exactly.
emotions.
That's
in your
why
mind.
you can play. If you've watched a movie and you hear that soundtrack somewhere, your brain immediately goes to
So then let me ask you this.
that feeling.
Would you say that when our young people decide to go away from a church like ours, that it starts with the music, and that's probably why they struggle with dress standards?
100%.
because that's what I see. So they go away and the girls put on their pants and the guys put on their bracelets, necklaces, and all that cross-dressing goes on there.
Yep.
Yep, dressing like girls.
And they're not going to church. And if they do go, they're going to go to one that
They're
has a
making
bunch
their
of...
daddies proud. 100%.
Wow.
Making their daddies
Yeah.
proud, aren't they?
I think it's sad.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that.
I think you just let them comment.
Yeah.
Let them comment because
let them reveal themselves.
Because I didn't name anybody last week, but they are doing it for me right now.
Here we go. Oh, they're teaming up. Oh, this is great.
But the truth is,
I didn't
point
make any. I didn't say any
Right.
names.
Hey, I didn't
put any
I didn't send this link to anybody. We put this out on our social media.
right.
If you want to be a
They're
part
trolling
of it,
us.
That's right. So
Very
okay, so
What you
wait,
put
hang on.
your time to.
Here, this right here, all right, for all you, this is a podcast, junkies. You try and do this on your podcast and figure out what to say when someone comes on there. And,
Oh,
and-
yeah.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell me that you... Oh,
'Cause it's
the
live.
same exact thing.
Because it's live.
No, you see, this stuff happens live in the chat, and we're the ones who have to sit here and decide,
It's all right.
Am I
It's
going
all
to
right.
just...
All the people that are
Ignore it?
from my church that see it
Yeah.
now have actual tangible proof of what we've dealt with the whole time I've trained you and we've lived for God.
Right.
It's proof.
Yeah.
This is the spirit they have.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Because
I don't
we
go find their
maintain our
stuff.
standards,
I don't-
because we use King James Bible,
Yeah.
because we run buses, because we go soul winning, and we listen. They'll say we left the weightier matters undone. The thing about it is, we don't come visit.
I don't go
come
step-
visit. We'll hug your neck. We're glad you're here. But it's
Yeah.
if when I come to visit them, boy,
I
they
have
don't want
not-
they don't want anything to do
Yeah,
with me.
There's a difference between putting out your beliefs, backing it up scripturally, having a broadcast where you talk about biblical things, and physically going, getting online and getting to be a part of someone else's thing just to be a scorner.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I didn't
Go start your own.
I didn't go out of
start
my
your
way.
own broadcast or a podcast and say whatever you want to say about it.
I didn't go out of my way to send you any messages, to post about your life. You go live it however you want,
Yeah.
okay? But how about, I'll tell you what, how about let's hear about some folks that you've had saved? Some bus routes that you've been on. How about some people's lives that you are influencing for the better? How about the youth that are probably in your church right now that I'm sure they're on YouTube and they probably see comments like this? I mean, hey, let's see that. We just transitioned from music into something totally different.
think-
but
it
you know what's
is
the
mu-
heart?
it is
music.
Music is a big influence.
absolutely.
It's a big part of it
Makes
because it
people
influences.
rebellious.
It does. It does. And you, go
Yeah,
ahead. What were you saying?
yeah. I just think very. I can't even say it. I'm not even gonna say anymore. I want to, but I'm not going to. It's just sad because
Amen, brother.
people. I would be totally. I don't know. Just I'm not even gonna say anything because I can't say anything because no matter what, it's
Can't stoop to their level.
no. Just let them listen.
Oh, hey, Pete.
Hey, I've never seen you before. Pete,
Because wait, time I'm trying to.
It's a new stalker.
It's not really me. It's the fake. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, I already have a fake account, don't I? Or is that Brother Smith?
what?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
What are you talking about?
You have a fake
But to go
account?
back to music.
I'll go make
Let's
it.
go back
Yeah,
to
let's
music
go back.
bars.
Let's go
What are we
Get back
talking
to
about?
music. Brother JT, did you want to say anything? I heard you breathe up there.
Come on, brother JT.
No, well, I was just gonna say this has nothing to do with music, but that the comment reminds me of some children in the Bible yelling, "Go up, thou bald."
Oh yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's good preaching.
Have that in for them.
If they won't listen to the basic things, you think they're going to really pay attention to those things?
JT, let
those
me ask you a
stories?
question. Have you made a change in your music choices?
Yes, sir.
And do you think it's changed your spirit?
Oh, absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Has that helped you maintain your separation and standards?
Yes, sir.
But you got to kind of,
You got to be willing to change.
yeah.
If you're not willing to, then you have a hard heart. Ultimately, is what it boils down to.
Think you lose some friends because of that?
Yes.
I think the thing is, you have to not only just be willing, but you absolutely have to be willing. But a lot of people are not only not willing, but they don't want to know. They don't want to search it out.
God.
Yeah, they don't want to. And one of the reasons is, I talked about that at the very beginning, is music is so attached to who we are as individuals many times. And so when you bring up music and what's the right type of music, and then you define what the wrong type of music is, people feel like you're attacking them.
Yeah.
Because it's who they are. It's what
Yeah,
shaped
you're
their
right.
memories. And so there's that part which is why God made music so powerful, is if you get the right music and you get that attached to your life and that becomes a part of you. What do you think is going to happen when Satan attacks you? And Satan attacks your music? And Satan, it's all flipping on its head. God made music that way for a reason. It's to encourage us, to lift us up, edify us, draw us closer to Him. So I feel like I'm the one talking.
No,
that's good.
When
That's
true
good
purposes are perverted, everything goes haywire. Our purpose in our creation was to glorify the Lord, to praise Him, to be those who our ultimate goal is to give God glory, to give Him praise. Music was not created so that we can have a good time.
Right.
Music's purpose is the same. It's to glorify the Lord, to minister to Him. And in doing so, it ministers to us.
Yeah, I think the realization is that right kind of music towards God prepares our heart to be right. If our heart is right, we're going to enjoy that music as well. There's nothing wrong with enjoying good music, but it needs to be the music that would make God happy. So,
Yeah.
I lost you, Will. Did I lose you?
Oh, I fell into the chat again. Sorry.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's the dark.
That's why I turn it off. But
Yeah.
nope.
They're poking now. They're just poking. All I could
Well,
say
it's
is all I could say is with music.
Like, really?
With music,
How petty can you be?
very evidently. With music
Just
and
keep talking.
hey, here's the thing. This is another big deal. Of all the of all the episodes for someone to show up on.
Tell you what, Satan
You
likes
really
his
think
music.
that the prince and power of... Do you really think that Satan, the main maker of music in heaven, you think he doesn't matter? Music doesn't matter? It does matter. And for years, Satan has taken music and absolutely made it beautiful for men, for humans, for us, for the glorification of ourself. And what we're seeing that leak right into church, right into our personal listening. And people like to say that there's two separate ones. You can have church music and then your personal. It's
amoral.
music is for God, not for us. But I did want to say one other thing, and then I'll pass it off. This week, I saw someone put out a cover video of a CCM, and I'm not talking like top level, like right underneath Southern Gospel, because you got Southern Gospel, and they're basically CCM. And then you got the real, like CCM is basically like rock music with Christian words. Sometimes you don't even know if it's Christian words because it's incomplete sentences. But
And it's not.
Yeah.
It's more than
Muttering.
CCM's more than rock music. It's many different
right,
genres.
exactly, all kinds of right. But what I'm saying though is this person did a cover on a song that is so far out there, and the person is going to a quote unquote independent fundamental Baptist church, but their life is music. Their life is look at me. If you listen to both, like I could take the video off and play the music back and forth, slice them together, and you wouldn't know who was singing because they just sound identical. And they take that as a compliment because great vocal performance there. But that's exactly what it is. It's all about their voice and their performance. That's why you do covers of someone else's song, is because you want to. Hey guys, I can do it the same way they did it. How about this? Do that cover in church, same way the CCM did it.
Not here.
Yeah, I'm saying they wouldn't do it at their church. So
And if you're, and I was going to throw this out there, I use some material from a couple different books that I have on music that are really, really solid books. And if you, one of them is right in front of me.
It's very good.
If you are wanting to research music on your own, on what godly music is, DM me, and I will shoot you those books or where you can buy one, because one of them, I mean, this thick, and it's just on music. Now you should start with the Word of God.
It's good.
If you're really wanting to find the truth, you can find it in the Word of God. You don't even need another book. But if you want even more explanation, just to strengthen yourself, whether it is in the area of discourse to be able to explain it to others, or let me know. I will shoot you a link to that book because it's good.
In your decisions to stay and be on staff and minister here, I mean, you could go to other people have been interested in hiring you guys out, and you said, this is where I want to be. Because your dad said you get a spanking if you don't stay, right?
Yeah.
No. But obviously music would be one of those things. You look around fundamentalism and you go, oh, I don't like what direction we're going here. At least here, you can trust that the music is not going to go the wrong way. Most young people run away from their churches because they know their music choices will not be accepted. So they have to go somewhere else so they can dive into their music. Music is a very powerful thing, and every parent should be very careful about what they allow their children to listen to. Even on the movies, the back music in our movies are dangerous.
Right.
Yeah.
And you think it's funny, but it's gonna come back to bite you. And then when your kids run away, go off and become a disgrace to fundamentalism, you're gonna change. You're gonna change, because that's the only way you can save face.
Yes.
So I would recommend people that are raising their kids to keep all the Southern gospel stuff out of the car. There's not this, well, we got a car standard and then we got a church standard.
Yeah.
Keep it out of the cars. Keep it off your laptops.
Right.
Keep it off your phones. Don't be playing it. Say, look, kids, listen to this. It's really cool. Don't do it. Watch what they're listening to on TV and your movie selections. You better be careful, because it's going to come back to haunt you.
It will.
Yeah.
So are you saying that we shouldn't listen to Disney music in our cars? Personally, I would say yes, but I mean, I grew up with cousins and friends that I would borrow it, and that would be on their iPod.
There's been a teaching. Intellectuals tend to listen to a lot of classical. I've heard preachers say that people who have a strong or steady diet of classical music tend to be messed up genderly in their genders, or
Gender confused?
yeah, they're a little confused on their gender. I don't know, that probably does become more prevalent in those areas, but classical music in itself is not wrong. All classical music is wrong. I wouldn't say that every Disney song is wrong, but I will tell you this. Why, when we have good music, do we have to have Disney music on a CD or in our iPods as the main music? Why is that our main appetite? What does that tell our kids?
Gives them a
It's
taste.
hypocrisy, as far as I'm concerned. So just keep your local church, good music, and live on that and enjoy that. And once in a while, when you're watching something, it's not going to destroy your kid.
Yeah.
One of the classes I took when I got my master's program was music, history of music. It is amazing. 90% of the early classical music, 99% of it, was written for? Church. Do you know what instrument it was written for? An organ. They weren't even made for an orchestra until later, but they were written by these people for the purpose of worship, of glorifying God. And you had certain composers, I can't remember if it was Bach, who it was, but they would Sol de Gloria, basically glory to the Lord on every single piece that they would write. But here's what happens. Secularism, and the fact that the churches really that it was written for was like the Catholic Church. So obviously their doctrine was a little crazy anyway. What happened is the music gets taken and its original purpose, again, is perverted.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you have is, oh, well, it was good back then, so it must be okay now. So now you've got secularists who it's all about being, learning classical and, how many...
Yeah.
It's like you don't even have to say the words. Exactly. You don't have to say the words. It's like... This has been voice acting with Will.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. No, but it's true. And, think about it, our education system, people are all up in arms about, are you accredited? Well, what does that mean? Does the world approve it? Does the government approve? Does, does the lost world approve? And we're not concerned about being accredited or approved by this world. We want to be accredited or approved by the Word of God.
Right.
Yes. And but what happens is, our kids get disillusioned when they're being raised, and a lot of it comes from the music influences that the parents allow. And where do they end up going? They go into the secular educational realm, which, because they choose to do that, our leadership now, they can't really openly condemn it. And because then, then the offerings will go down because you'll lose church membership.
But what defines their values now? The world does.
That's it.
The world is where they get their accreditation.
Right.
And if the world says, oh, you're a Jesus freak, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I better do my best not to look like one. Yeah. So I'm going to still love Jesus, but get as close as I can to what they look like so that they don't call me, because I really respect what they say.
Right.
And I'm not saying that, if you're going to be a doctor, I don't want someone who hasn't had, training as a doctor working on me.
Be nice.
Right.
All right? But we're not talking about people going to be doctors.
Right.
We're talking about people saying you got to be accredited to be a pastor.
Right.
Accredited to. Here's the thing: went and worked at a
or
hospital.
a school teacher.
Yeah, went and worked at a hospital. Got a job that required a Bachelor of Science in computer technology. No, bachelor's in computer sciences.
Yeah. That was fun.
Didn't have one.
Yeah.
And guess what? I got the job.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm willing to work.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you work. Guess what?
Yeah.
You're gonna do just fine.
Employers value character and work more than a degree.
You make them money.
They do.
They don't care what degree you have.
Yeah. Here's the other part.
Seriously, that's it.
The point of getting that job wasn't so that I could walk around and say, "Oh, I see, I got the job." It was, this is the time of my life. This would be a great job to have. If it works, it works. And guess what?
It worked.
I beat out 4 other people that had Bachelor of Computer Science degrees. So
now you're saying this to brag on yourself. That's what they'll say. But we're not. We know there are a bunch of people listening to this broadcast. We see our numbers going up, and we know they're trolls, and we know that some of them are young people that have made decisions to go towards the world. And I hope they're listening. I hope they're listening and they realize, look, you can come home.
right.
You can come home at any time and repent and start clean, fresh, and anew. But your heart has to be right, and you have to mean business. But the world is not closed to you. Success is not closed to you. But why don't you do it God's way?
Right.
Do it the Lord's way. Honor Him. Honor your father and mother. Obey them that have the rule over you. Go out of this world, into this world, being a good Christian, and then be something that God makes you.
Right.
Instead of being something that the worldly education system molds you into.
Right.
So, this is not about us. It's about sharing truths that really give us the ability to walk with the Lord and have a victorious Christian life. I remember the first time I started going to church, and Pastor Brennan handed me a pamphlet entitled Living the Victorious Christian Life. It was yellow, and he wrote it. And I remember that's some of the foundational stuff that I got. And I have done nothing but build off of that. Just build off of that, and it's all been from the Word of God.
And would you say your life is worse because of that, probably? You're miserable.
Okay,
right?
well, sometimes when y'all pick on me, I feel like it's worse.
That's the next segment.
Because you're
I'd say
like
it's
10
right?
times smarter than me.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
No.
What you are, and that's great, and you're probably getting a lot more witty than I am, but no, my life is awesome. Are you kidding me? I'm the second oldest of 8 kids. I have been married once. I have 4 children that are serving the Lord. I've got 2 of them that are married. One's fixing to get married. Everybody wants to raise their children in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. All of you love. I mean, the love that my wife and I experience on a regular basis from our children and their spouses is invaluable.
And I'll say
Just
this.
unbelievable.
And I'll say this. Something that you can't trade the world for. And that is that right there. Being able to serve side by side with your dad and with your mom in the ministry, having a like faith and a like mind.
Not feeling cheated.
No, but you have it's a friendship and a bond that is just, it's worth everything. It's worth everything to me. And it's not, I don't do it because of that, but it sure is a perk. It sure is a perk.
Yeah.
And it
thing
just goes
is
that
you didn't
verse
lose
that says,
anything.
honor thy
Father
and thy mother. You know, those are commands. And sometimes you just view them as commands, but there are so many promises attached to those things. There's so many blessings that you get as a result of that. And I'm thankful for it. I wouldn't trade the world for it.
Don't you think that music has been that seed by which it has blinded the young people from those truths and those opportunities?
I think it's definitely
they pour themselves into music more than they pour themselves into family and
I think it's a big part of it. Yeah. I think those who I think it influences
But you guys have you have not lost anything.
No.
I mean,
absolutely not.
If you wanted a career in construction, you could go do it right now. If you wanted a career in being an electrician, you could go do it right now.
We're doing it. I mean, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, everything.
We're doing
everything.
it.
Yeah. What did I do What did I spend time this week doing? Drywalling and texturing.
Exactly.
And I think I'm getting a garden someday finished.
Oh, landscape! I did that this week.
Right?
Yeah, my hands hurt mowing.
It's kind of.
It's slavery, right?
Yeah.
It's slavery.
Yeah.
No, but it's just nothing that. I mean, it's amazing what God has poured into our children, even though we kept them from the world. We kept them away from the world, yet all the things that others have run away to and run away from fundamentalism and blame the church that they can't do it and be in the church, so they're going to run away and gather those things so they can have them. They're miserable. They're absolutely miserable.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yo.
I
Love you too, Joel.
I sure. I appreciate the monologue, Brother Damon.
Yes.
I know we got away from music there a little bit, but it all is tied together. I was thinking about some of the points that were being made, and you talking about love and serving with parents, and you wouldn't trade that. And I'm so glad I get to serve with my family. Best friends, in the world are my family, and I'm so thankful for that. I wouldn't trade that for brief moments of happiness that you get to have because of this world's pleasure. Because there is pleasure in sin for a season.
Yeah.
But I personally picked the next song. And are you okay with we go to the next song? It's I've Been Sheltered by His Grace. I want you to listen to the words of this song as it plays. We'll be right back. And finally, we've reached our last segment that's entitled Safe Space. But today,
No safe space.
canceled. Ooh. Canceled like the newest conservative idea.
Wow.
Not the oldest. Sorry.
Oldest, I should say that. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Peter. The
conservative.
oldest conservative ideas. All right. See, we all make mistakes.
So I advertised that on the broadcast today, I would be bringing up a tweet that I deleted. So I guess there's going to be part of me that's going to be pretty candid here. About 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no. You don't have to be too candid.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. I had to use the facilities. You get to my age, and you're up every 2-3 hours. I don't know. But anyway, so sometimes I'll take my phone with me.
I'm going to jump in here because I know they're going to cut this, They're probably going to post just pieces of this. Go ahead.
Okay.
We're up to 40. We're up to 40 a second ago. So everyone waited to the end. That's great. They all waited to the end. We were at 40 literally 2 seconds ago.
Actually kind of fun.
It's hilarious.
Well, it's done exactly what I wanted it to do. That's the whole reason. I'm half tempted not to even go any further.
Yeah, let's just shut it down.
Suckers!
Let's just shut it down. Why not? Oh, yes, let's do it.
No, let's not.
You know what? We got to be able to laugh at ourselves because you know what?
Oh, I just totally, I think it's funny.
It is funny.
Totally funny. If you can't laugh at yourself, then
Yeah.
you can't be in the ministry.
Yep, pretty
That's
much.
all there is to it. Because if anybody does, the funniest stupid things are the ones that the professionals do, you know, because it really humbles you. Anyway, I know everybody thinks I'm some kind of Twitter guru and that we're all about numbers and all those kind of things. And so I've been on Twitter, I don't know how many years, 10 years? I don't know how many years. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's longer than that.
All right. So, of course, my Twitter account has, if you look down, if you'll go to @Pastor Reeves and just go through the feed, you'll see, you know, occasionally I'll poke at the recovering fundies or, you know, there'll be things that I say there that clearly are directed towards those that are on the other side that are saying nasty things about the independent fundamental Baptist. I just feel like somebody needs to fight back. And the Christianity that we see today is, especially I see it in a lot of the evangelists. So you don't say anything bad, you know. And I'm just like, you know what? These guys are they need exposed for the wolves that they are and the predators that they are, and their little cute little ability to say things and you know and twist us out to be the bad guys. Irritates me. But if you go to my thing, you'll see all things about church, people coming to church, things that we're doing here at the church, bus ministry. I try to keep it pretty positive. You go to the church website or church Twitter line, same thing. All of our accounts are always very positive about the things of the Lord. But in the attempt of, I'll do this when I'm on the facilities because I think it's the most appropriate place to mess with bad
Trolls,
sermons.
how's it going?
Yeah. So I got on and I was looking and it just happened to be I was looking at who was liking the tweets on Bad Sermon, and at the top it said Bad Sermons, 3,911 likes. And then right underneath it says how many are following them, 5,097. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And then I thought, I wonder how many likes I got. So I went over to mine, and you know, of course, I'm half asleep, right? And I look at, wow, 6,700 likes, and I only have 421 people following me. And I just went, well, there's a lesson for you. And I took pictures of it, circled it, and this is what I wrote. The interesting insight to the believability of the accounts of bad sermons. Just a little review of some numbers shows people tend to be more favorable to truth than lies. Their 597 followers generated 3,911 likes versus my 421 followers generated 6,715 likes. Numbers don't lie. I put an emoji with the think and then hashtag losers. So here's the problem with that. I really have never even noticed that it keeps track of the number of likes on there. And since I've really never noticed it, I really don't know if I thought those were likes generated.
Oh, like other people liking your stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was
that would make
thinking
sense.
That would, if it was like
that
Facebook
was impressive.
or something.
Yeah.
And so
Facebook does that.
Do
They say likes.
How many
like how many
likes?
times
That's probably why you
your
thought
page
it,
has
because
been liked.
Facebook has
Yeah.
that.
Theirs is backwards.
anyway, I thought that's what I was doing. So when I posted it, I went back to bed, and got up in the morning, and my wife says, "Hey, have you noticed the comments on that tweet?" I said, "No." So I went and looked at it. I was like, "Oops," and I deleted it.
How many comments did you have?
I don't even know. Just all the haters and the idiots and
yeah,
the losers from the.
Hey, give you new people to block, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Nice.
But here's the thing. I deleted it, and then they criticized me for deleting it. And all this criticism.
Why?
He's so stupid. He doesn't even know what he's doing.
Why?
Well, I have no.
you
It was 3 in the morning.
I have no problem.
Look at this moron. You made a mistake. Oh, you deleted it. You tried to fix his mistake. You're still a moron. Yeah.
You got to pick one. Why not hit both, buddy?
Well, I think we're going to attribute that to
So how many here would say, Pastor,
Old
you're
age.
getting old?
Yeah, I was going to say, what's that
Honestly,
gif?
I can't.
Why are
Here's
you
the
so
thing. I can't even. Like, it's an honest mistake. I get that. But I think Facebook. That's exactly how Facebook works. So I can't even sit here and be like, "Oh, you're so old." It's just.
Yeah.
It's totally. It's
But
just
the reason I wanted to
honest
bring it
mistake.
up was, first of all,
3 in the morning fall.
things like
What it
this
is.
don't bother me. You make a mistake like this, I really don't have a problem owning things like this. But the little jabs and twisting things and making it sound like we're some kind of evil place and a cult. I just think Christians need to fight back on them, contend for the faith, and stand up for yourself. Now, if you got a national platform and you travel around the country, you might be satisfied with getting up in big meetings where there are a bunch of preachers and saying cute little statements, and everybody goes, "Amen," and think that's your fighting back. But the war's really not in those camps because everybody there's for you.
Yeah. What opposition?
So
do you have?
why don't you go where the enemy's at and
try to pastor a church, baby?
Well, I'm talking about on social media.
Yeah, but
they're wanting to jab back when there's nobody that will come up to the front and punch them in the nose for saying it. I don't have a problem fighting back. And then when they get mad at me, you know what I do? Come visit. I'll take you out to eat. I've offered to pay hotel rooms. I mean, come see. I double dog dare you. And then you get these boys, pastor sons, go, wonder what would happen if everybody that he's blocked comes and visits his church. It's called a big day, you moron. You finally hear some preaching.
Oh man,
You might get saved.
Here's the truth of the matter, though, and
so
folks,
great.
you may not. Here's the thing.
so great. I can't wait to see this later.
I'm gonna go run right home and watch it.
Here's the truth of the matter, folks, and we all, even at this table, disagree in different ways on how.
No, we don't.
Wait, we don't. What do we don't? You don't even know what I'm gonna say. I think on how to deal with different issues concerning social media. But here's one thing.
Just shoot
that.
Hey man, have you been doing
Now
that?
we know.
I knew you were low
I'm
ammunition,
sorry. It's
ammunition
called
for a reason.
block.
No, I'm just saying. But here's the truth that stands no matter where you are. Something needs said, and it's not going away.
Nope.
We as Christians can try to bury our heads in the sand when it comes to social media and what people say and how they attack your ministries. And not everybody has to deal with it the same way, but simply turning your head and ignoring it 100% of the time. You can't do that. You're not going to be able to keep doing that because the world that we're living in, this is how they're influenced. What's that verse in Proverbs? I just looked it up today. The simple will beware when the scorners are reproved, or it might be the other way. I mean, when scorners are reproved, the simple will beware. Yeah. The point is, there are a lot of people that are simple that will be influenced the wrong way if you're not willing to stand up. Yeah. And standing up in real life is the same as standing up on social media. I'm not saying everybody has to get on social media and go trailblazing and go, or guns a-blazing.
Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying there needs to be an awareness. There needs to be a realization with our generation,
That's right.
There needs to be. It's not wrong, and you're not being unchristian-like to stand up. And not everybody has to do it the same way, but to stand up and
do it anyway. Do it the way you want to. But
say
do
no. Point and say that's not what we're about. This is wrong, and this is right.
Yeah.
But if you ignore it, there are many teenagers, young people that are coming up, whether in fundamentalism or whether they're Christians in their own churches that are in the youth groups that see things and they're influenced because no one points out the wolves.
That's right.
And someone ought to do it. And I'm going to read this real quick because it actually kind of goes into what we're talking about. Pastor Joseph Brown is a pastor in Marion Avenue Baptist
Good
Church.
preacher.
Great preacher. Grew up going to his youth conference all 4 years of my high school. Went to his youth conference. A couple years after that, I took teenagers to the youth conference. we're not super, super close, and I'm not going to like good friends, but we're friends.
Right.
And I respect him, and he's somebody that I look up to because he took over his father's ministry. He's got a great relationship with his father, and he's standing true to the old time way according to the Bible, and he's solid straight down the line. Anyway, he texted me actually moments before the broadcast and just said, "Hey, appreciate you, man. Keep on keeping on." And then I sent him a short text, and he sent back, he said this, I want to read it. "I have watched people criticize my dad for literally my entire life, and yet no one knows him like I know him. He tried to warn this generation of media, and now look what we have. If we would have all listened to his generation, I wouldn't have to preach what I'm preaching today. However, when I hear people posting my stuff online, it just motivates me to keep going. I remember more than 20 years ago opening mail at the church and finding a picture of my mom and dad that people had drawn horrible stuff on, and a mustache on my dad calling him Hitler. When those moments come, I just think of that song, Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus."
That's good.
And people, you can say what you want, but you got to stand. And our social media, behind the pulpit, our generation has to stand up today.
There's a generation one above ours that's looking at the stand that we're having to take, or that we're taking, that our father is taking, and saying that we're bringing it on ourselves, that this is pointless battles that we're fighting. These are not pointless battles. The reason we're fighting these battles is because a bunch of buzzards like you didn't.
Like me?
No, I'm saying, I'm saying because because people aren't standing.
Right.
And I said this in a previous episode. We're starting to stick up more, like a sore thumb, even more, because less people are standing.
It's such a spiritual snowflake generation.
Well, I had 2 interactions this week. I'll just mention real quick. One, I was sitting there, and a pastor's on vacation, and he's visiting a church. And this pastor's on vacation, and he calls me on Thursday morning. He says, "Hey, I'm in such and such a place, visiting this church. I'm on vacation, and afterwards I'm fellowship with the pastor, and the pastor says, so you know this Bill Reeves?" It's just, I don't know. I'm like, oh no, I got my friend in trouble, And he says, "That guy's on fire." And somebody I don't even know, and never met him, and way up in the mountains, nobody in a place where nobody would ever know who,
Right.
And so this kind of stuff, the Twitter and that, it's reaching people. There are other soldiers out there for Christ that sit and listen to this, and they read the tweets. They see your boys standing for it, all you guys, all the work you do, everything we do at this church, the ministries here, and they go, that's admirable. That stands good. Now, they may not be that willing to say it as plainly and openly as I am, but I don't care. Just stand for right, and you want to pass that on. You think that's good, but take a lesson. If you don't say something, evil will triumph.
That's right.
It will triumph. You got to say something, and say it nice or whatever. And then the second thing is I spent time this week with on Twitter with someone who is half my age. Because I noticed he commented, which was out of character from everything I've ever seen him. He commented and poke fun at us because we call this a broadcast instead of a podcast. And so I DM'd him. I said, "Hey, you got a question about me or my ministry, how we do things? Give the church a call, schedule a phone meeting, and I'll get back to you if it's sincere. I'd like to answer that." And a day later, he answers me back, and he basically says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I took the post down. I shouldn't do it. It's never right to make fun of somebody and poke, and I usually don't follow them, and the RFP is just a bunch of guys who and he brags on them for a little bit, and I agreed with everything he said. And then he turns right around and says, "But I don't think it serve any purpose to call you and ask you the questions. But here's what bothers me." So he didn't want any of the, and he called our church young. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to say to this guy. He's half my age. He thinks our ministry is young. And I mean, I just don't know. how can he say that when he knows nothing about our ministry? He doesn't
He knows
know.
a
It's
lot.
almost 50. It's 2 years from
He
being
knows-
50 years old.
He knows a lot about it from those RFP guys, Dad.
That's where
He
you get
knows
the
so
information.
much.
Right.
love it.
So you put up with that kind of stuff, that trash, that holier than thou. And that's supposed to be our camp. That's supposed to be the IFB. That's why we have this division and we have these guys who go, no, my IFB. And I just let them say that because they're marking themselves.
Right.
They're the ones that have moved. We didn't move. They're the ones that moved. We're exactly where we're supposed to be. And it hair lips them all because they have to move because they did a rotten job raising their kids. It's that simple. And that might be heartless, but these younger guys are going to pay the price when they see what happens with their kids because they allow that fellowship to take place. And their kids are going to see them hanging out with RFP, bad sermon, and they ain't going to keep them, maybe not even through teenage years. So, yeah, laugh at me because I don't know the likes were for the likes that I did instead of laugh at me. You got me. You got me. One thing, they finally got me on something. There, 27 people, was up to 35 earlier.
We were up to
Y'all missed
40.
it. We were up to 40?
Yeah, we were.
I mean, I did it. Guilty. I made a boo-boo.
Now, apologize.
Again.
I am sorry. I'm sorry. I
not- here's the
apologized
thing.
last week. I
Here's the
apologize
thing.
this week.
Here's what's interesting to me, and that is, it's not about the truth. Is no matter which side of the aisle you're on or wherever you stand, it really isn't about a man. It isn't about Pastor Reeves.
Nope.
It's about the truth that he stands for. And if you look at the crowd, you look at those who are always attracted to Pastor Reeves. I'm talking about Pastor Reeves. They don't talk about the truth.
Right.
Those are the ones that should be condemned as man followers.
Yep.
Because that's who they worship. But the truth is, when you stand up and what you say is truth. It's what you're proclaiming is truth. Now, they make it about Pastor Reeves because they can't argue against the truth.
There's a wolf in sheep's clothing along that same line in the people who cry disposition. Be careful that you don't let the whole gotta have the right disposition crowd keep you from being a fighter. I'm not saying that you should just.
There's always a better way
There's
of
always
saying
a better way of
things.
saying
Yeah.
things, and I would never say there isn't. But to make an argument that you shouldn't, that discourages people from standing for right because you might hurt somebody's feelings, is as big a problem as what you were.
Well, I
talking
just
about.
wanted to prove a point. I wanted to admit, yep, you got me on that one. I also don't have a problem with you guys jabbing me about it. I don't have a problem with you guys jabbing about it. I wouldn't have a problem with anybody jabbing me about it. But, you know.
Did you want me to? I don't
yeah,
have
jab
anything
away.
to jab.
Jab.
You.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. We jabbed.
I guess that's it. That's all
Well, it's just a bunch of ridiculous.
Pete's just over there like, I told you this social media stuff stupid.
Well, you already know that anyway.
Yeah, I do.
Most of it is stupid.
It is.
People say stupid.
None of my stuff is stupid.
Well, I am
I
sure.
think this is
thankful-
like the Brooke overtime.
I am
It's
sure.
overload.
Yeah, this is the longest episode.
I
we've
am
ever had.
thankful for a live broadcast that we can all be a part of,
Yes.
where we can have good discussions. We can even disagree sometimes. We can get in heated debates with trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somewhat.
But then we always end on such a positive. Actually, no, we canceled that this week, so we didn't end on. Actually, we
No
got a verse.
positivity.
You got a verse you're going to share, right?
Yes.
Something positive.
Can I
Oh,
interject real
JT.
quick?
He's always late to the party.
Like,
Well, yeah,
Put your
this one- this
camera
one
on.
is kinda-
Let's go. We
kinda
wanna see
late.
your
face.
We
I
want to see
just-
your face.
I wanted to thank you guys because back when I'm from Maryland, I grew up listening to Southern gospel, and through some different circumstances, I decided that I was going to search and try to find out what was right. And I listened to, I don't know, 5-10 different sermons, and none of them really broke down music as far as this is what's right, this is what's wrong. All of them were like, CCM bad, don't listen to that. And that's all they ever said. Like, okay, well, and at the time, I didn't consider Southern Gospel CCM, so I'm like, oh, well, I'm good. And it took me a while. Finally, there was a message on, take what of your music what is the farthest away from what would be God's stand, and you know what it is. He didn't even have to explain it. I immediately knew, and I cut out Southern Gospel. And now, since being here, you guys have Baptist music out of the local church and different things, and that has really helped me improve my stand. But I'm thankful because most people preaching out there, they either don't know it well enough, or they're afraid of it, or they are saying one thing and living something else, whatever the case may be. So I just wanted to thank you guys.
That's
for
a great way to
that.
tie those two together and talk about how having a stand makes such a difference, especially in the area of music. You can't just be generic and say, don't listen to bad music.
Yeah.
Define it.
We had tons of stories like this. I mean, just yesterday, a 60-some-year-old lady and her husband drove through, and they stopped, and they're visiting the church, and they're actually the lady I ministered to back in McDonald when I first started going to church, First Baptist Church in McDonald. And actually, it was when we came back from college. And I started working the Warren route and ministering there, or got her family involved in church. And just last night visited at our house and was so grateful and thankful for the influence through the years. And she said, one time you told me I shouldn't do something. I shouldn't have done it because they were right, And I just laugh. because it's not like I'm God or anything. But little things like that, just trying to help people.
Right.
Thursday night, certain individual that's here visiting was able to nail down his salvation. He got saved, and we're so happy for Damien that
Amen.
he's sure that he's going to heaven now. Amen. But that wouldn't have happened if we wouldn't have been so direct with him in our conversations. When he was getting his hair cut, Will said, hey, give me your salvation story. And he's like, gave what he could, and it kind of was missing some points. And then Thursday, when they're supposed to be working on they were standing around talking. But David then also, some plant, some water, and God gives the increase. And when I got home, David said, hey, I think he needs to talk to you about salvation. And so it was very easy. I was able to talk to Damien. He got saved. And I remember Sean Tyson getting saved at camp like that. There's nothing wrong with these kids. It's just sometimes they need a place where they're going to be challenged physically and mentally and spiritually all at one time, and there's no way out. It's like if Damon wanted to run away, what's he going to do? His plane doesn't leave till Monday.
Yeah, as soon as he gets hungry, he's turning around.
Yeah,
Which is basically a 30 seconds.
30 seconds, he'll be back.
The kid can eat.
He can.
But here's the thing, find you a place that challenges you like that.
Yeah.
And stay there, because they're hard to find.
It's going to be
they
hard
are
to
hard
stay.
to find, but you'll grow. If you want to grow.
Good
you'll
show.
grow.
Good show today, guys.
Thank you all for joining us for this week's episode of The Brook on Canaan Radio, a live broadcast. We're so glad that you're able to be with us.
40 listening people.
That's right, where we had to interact live with people in a live environment. It was a live broadcast. Anyway. Be sure to join us next week at the same time in the same place for another fun-filled, not pre-recorded show.
That's right. That's good preaching right there.
David?
Yes.
Pastor?
Hey, it's good to be part of the program today.
Peter?
Good night.
And, of course, JT up in the booth. We're so thankful that you guys could be with us. You can find this show in podcast form at some point in the future on our website, on YouTube, and on iTunes. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you join us today on YouTube to be notified. Click the bell so you can be notified whenever we go live. Before we go, we would like to leave you with this week's verse.
This is for our listeners and watchers on the broadcast. 1 Corinthians 16, chapter 16, verse 13. Watch ye, the broadcast. Just kidding.
Wow.
Watch ye, stand fast in the faith, quit you like men, be strong.
Amen.
And with that, we're going to play the final requested song, Fighting on My Knees. This song was requested by Gabe. We'll see y'all next week.
The Brook, a ministry of North Platte Baptist Church.